everybody, it's Cassie Olberg from Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, and I am here with my Wednesday YouTube. I love it when people ask me questions and I can use that for my YouTube video. So last weekend was my crop, was one of my National Scrapbook days, and my friend Alyssa asked me how to do from this sketchbook. She wanted to know how to do this. And so that's super fun for me because I love to do math and I love to work things out. So I am going to show you how to do this sketch two different ways. I am going to do it if you have the Prismatic paper pack, because as you can see, this uses the Prismatic. So how to interpret that into other paper. And then I am going to show you a second way. I'm going to show you how to do it if you didn't have the paper pack and you just had to like wing it and guess. So I hope that by showing you two different methods, it's going to help you be able to do other things. So, okay, let's get started. Hello, Montana. This is Cassie. So let's see, exit layout, bring this one up, and let's get to work. Okay, so we have our layout, and the first thing that I did was figured out how to do it if I didn't have the paper pack, and then I realized I did, and it could be even simpler with it. So I'm going to show you both ways. So this uses a special Simple Cuts paper pack that has these lines on the back. So if you own this, I highly recommend that you go ahead and take these measurements down for future things, because you can do so much with these different cuts and you don't have to have this paper pack to do it. You can do it with anything. So we're going to do it using the This Life collection. So I'm just going to pull some of this paper out of my folder. As you guys know, I like to keep my collections all together in a folder. So I'm just going to pull out some papers to use. And we are going to extrapolate it over to this. But I'm going to show you where I got the measurements. So if you look, this shows that it uses this purple paper here. So if you flip this over, you can figure out that that purple would be this. And so it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 8. And then we're going to show how to cut that diagonally in a very simple and fun way. And then you can figure out that the red is going to be this. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a fun way. See, look, this is just half a sheet of paper. So I'm going to show you how to cut that diagonal and to make that work. And then the last piece it uses is this blue one. And so as you can see, it uses this up here. And so that would be a 9 by 9 rectangle or square. Well, a square is a rectangle, but anyway, I diverge. So anyway, a 9 by 9 square, and how you're going to cut that in half to then make those two triangles. And then there's 3 other sheets in here, and they can be used for other really fun sketches in this book. After we do that, we're going to come back and we're going to do it and pretend like we didn't even know this paper pack existed, and we have to try to figure out how to do it from scratch. So I think that's going to be fun, and I really hope that you like it. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut these 2 purple pieces. So I come over to my pile from This Life, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some with a little bit of pattern. I like a little bit of pattern in this. And we are going to make these 2 pieces. So to make those 2 pieces, we just need to cut a 9 by 9 square to start. Let's see, is this on screen? It is. Yay. Hello, Judy. How are you today? So we're going to pull out our arm. And remember, guys, I like to remind this periodically that when you pull out your arm, you've got a foot, and you've got to put that foot down on the table. Put it down on the table so it doesn't wiggle. And we're going to cut 9 inches by 9 inches. Okay. And then we're just going to take it and we just want to cut it on the diagonal. So there's 2 ways to do this. You could go like this and do corner to corner and do a slice, Or you could fold corner to corner. And I like to do the fold corner to corner because this works for everything. It works for your 12 by 12 papers too. And we'll talk about that in a second. And then you just put it up against the top. You make sure that your point is on the cut line. So up against the top at the top, cut line there, bam. And look at this, bam, cut in half. So let's go ahead and put that down on our paper so we don't lose all these little triangles. A lot of times when you're doing things, it's nice to do the cuts and then just put it down so you don't have to think about it or worry about it. And I'm going to just slide this way a little bit. Okay, and then you use this to just make sure that you're centering it. Oh yeah, this one's going to go all the way across. So you just got to take it, and down it goes. Okay, so now we're going to do our next cuts, and we're going to do the blue. So the blue is going to be this square, and to find that size, you can just go like this. Okay, guys, that's the 9 by 9. This was supposed to be 8 by 8. So let's talk about how to fix that. I was wondering why it seemed a little bigger than when I did it. So let's just talk about how to fix that. What happens if you make the wrong cut? Do you throw it away? I love it whenever I mess up on camera. Not really. I kind of hate it, but that's okay. It gives me the opportunity to show you what I would do if I actually did this when I was scrapbooking. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to make it an 8 by 8. I'm not going to start my video over. So let's see. You need it to be 8 by 8 instead of 9 by 9. Pretty simple. I'm just going to come like this. 8. And then this should already be 8. Okay, perfect. And we're going to do the same thing over here. We're just going to make it 8 by 8. Okay, not a problem. So did you see what I did there, guys? I made a mistake and I just figured out how I was going to get it to the right size. And that makes so much more sense. I was trying to figure out why I couldn't center it when I did it. I love it. Yes, keep it, keep it, keep it. Okay, so now my base is going to go across the top, and I want it to be a centered base. So I'm going to come across here, and I'm going to look, and if I go like this, it's centered perfectly. And now it's going to look so much better. Okay. And then same thing here along the bottom. Put it up against my silicone mat. Center it. 2 little lines to either side. Bam, done. Whew. Okay, so I made my mistake, so now that's perfect. I can make no more mistakes, right? Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Okay. Now for the red one, we're going to cut it in half. So this is where I was talking about cutting it, cutting a 12 by 12 in half. And I've done this on some videos before. You've probably seen. You just go corner to corner, and it's the 2 corners that you want it cut at. So my hearts are going the direction I want. Let's see. When I put it on the page, I want it to go this way. So I want that heart there. Okay. So you just look at what direction you want them to be going. Honestly, with these little hearts, I don't think it really matters. But then you're going to put it up against the top. Fold against the top. You're going to put your corner on the cut line, and you're going to cut. So now you have 2 halves. And then for this particular one, we need to cut it down the center too. So that's perfect because, well, look at this. We already have a fold there. How wonderful is that? And we're going to cut. And now we have our 2 red pieces. And they're going to feed right into here. And notice I'm using repositionable tape. And that's because I don't know about the rest of you. Is anybody out there perfect? So you can kind of wiggle them around to get those white lines to be just right. Put this down. We're going to put this one down. And then these ones I think are pretty perfect, but this one I think I need to wiggle just a little. Wiggle it just a little bit. There we go. And then I'll be happier with it. Okay, so then I feel like my white lines are a little bit better. And now we're going to do our blue. Let's see, do I have a blue that's the right size? Because I really would like to use these. And so for the blue, that's where the 9x9 comes in. I switched up my colors because I wanted. So let's see. I don't think it's 9 this way. No, it's not. So we're going to go with dots because I don't have stars left in that. Phooey. Okay. So this is where my 9x9 is. Bam. There we go. And now I'm going to cut my 9x9 in half. And then I'm going to cut it into half again. And so this was just taking the measurements from the Prismatic and moving it over. I don't want dots on top of dots. I'm going to do the other side up. And then, and notice that I just kind of eyeballed it. I could have used my mat to make it absolutely perfect. But then I'm going to take my photos and I'm going to mat them. So I already brought myself the photos that I wanted. So I need 2 mats that are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 because I like my mats to be just a 1/4 of an inch bigger. It gives me 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And that is what makes me happiest. If you want a thicker mat, you could do 4 by 4 and have a thicker mat. You can double mat. Lots of fun things you can do. So I'll mat those 2. And then I'll do my other 4. They are 2.5 inches. So we're going to do 2 3/4 inches. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to show you how to do it if we never had the paper pack and we had to just, whoops, that's too big. 2 3/4, not 3 1/4, Cassie, come on. Get with the program here. Okay. And then we're just going to mat these photos. And this is a super fun layout, and you can do it over and over. And if you have those measurements that I just gave you, you can back it up and watch it again, and you'll have them. But if you don't have these measurements, I'm going to show you what you can do. Because sometimes you don't have the paper pack, right? Now, if I didn't have the paper pack and I wanted those measurements, what I would do is I would go over to my group where all my scrapbooking friends hang out. And I would post and say, hey, anybody have this paper pack? I need these measurements. And I would get somebody to get their clear ruler out. And they would do it because guess what? Scrapbookers are friendly people and they love to help each other. And so somebody would have it and somebody would give that to me. If I were one of my customers, I would just PM me first if I didn't feel like posting, because chances are I would have it. But they could also post right in our friendly group. And so it's really fun to know that you have people that are just like you, who like to do the same thing as you, and you can reach out to them. That's what having this community is all about. Okay, I'm going to put these pictures down, and I really like the placement that they did, so I am just sticking with it. On this, they put a sticker across the middle. I didn't feel like it. If I really feel like it later, I'll come back over here and I will take up my repositionable pictures and I'll add it in. But I feel like there is enough going on with all of the pretty colors, and I didn't need to add one more thing. So it's all personal preference. And bam, that sketch is done. A little bit more. I think I need this one to come a little bit this way. That's what repositionable tape is. Awesome. And bam, we have this sketch done, and you could do it again and again in any color paper you wanted and use that for the rest of your life with every paper pack that comes out. I would probably put a sticker there, but look, that lined up really nice. I don't have to if I don't want to. Okay, so now let's just pretend like we live in a world where nobody gave us the measurements, and now we need to know. No, we don't have the prismatic pack. We need to figure out how to make these cuts. So let's pretend like we're living there. So I'm just going to use scrap paper for this. I don't know what you guys do with these insert sheets, but when I need to play and figure things out, I go ahead and I cut using these. And that way I'm not wasting my scrapbooking paper while I figure out how to make things happen. So back over here, this one tells me that it has a 9-inch base and it's 4.5 inches tall. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make it 4.5 inches tall. And I'm going to give it a 9-inch base. And this is where the math that I was talking about when I posted this comes into play. And now all you have to do is take your paper and put it down and just mark the halfway point. So, well, let's do it the opposite direction. So half of 9 is 4.5. Bam, you mark that spot and you can make this perfect triangle. So we're going to put the dot here, and you're going to want to put the dot on the opposite side. And if you have a mechanical pencil, that works out really nice. For some reason, after my National Scrapbook Day, my mechanical pencil is hiding somewhere, and I did not feel like looking for it any longer than I already did, so I did not use my mechanical pencil. So you would make 2 pieces this size, and look at that. That's the same size as the blue, because it told us it was 4.5. It told us 9-inch base. It told us 4.5 inches tall, and that's how we figure that out. And it's the exact same size as that. So if you never saw the prismatic paper pack in your life, you could still go ahead and make this this layout. So then let's talk about the next size up. We need the red piece. It's 6 inches tall and 12 inches wide. Well, that's easy peasy, right? Grab another sheet of paper and talk about that. So there's 2 ways that you could do that. 6 inches tall and 12 inches wide. Let's just do it the easy way. Keep it all the same so that nobody gets lost. So you just come over here and you do your 6 inches tall. It's already 12 inches wide. So now what do? The exact same thing that we just did. We bring this over here. We measure to the halfway point on the back of your paper so that you don't see the dot. And same thing. So we're just creating the same pieces that the Prismatic has, but we're just pretending like we didn't even know that it was paper with lines on the back, and that you're a brand new person getting the sketchbook and you have to make this up from scratch, right? That's what we're doing. And so watch. There you go. You get the same exact size piece of paper. So it's super fun to know what these sizes are. I love that they put the sizes into the sketchbook, and you can go through and you can make all the different pieces that are there and make your sketches. So anyway, I hope that you learned something. I hope that it was fun for you. And I hope that you learned that even if you're in the middle of a YouTube video and you make a mistake, you should just keep going because there's always a way to fix it. It's just paper. Just paper. So have fun with it. Okay, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. And you have a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks.